Hey guys, today it's December, which means it's a new catalog from the Traders Post. It's the last month of the year, and that of course means the trading post will be Christmas/winter theme. They've updated the adventure guide, adding some winter theming, which looks very nice in my opinion. For finishing the adventures guide, you'll get a battle pet, which in my opinion isn't too exciting unless you like doing battle pets. Now, let's get into the items for this month's first up. We got the candied blades, which look amazing, like someone sat there licking a candy cane into a sharp enough point to stab your enemies, for only 600 tender. Next up, for the Mount of December, we get the Crimson Glimmer Fur, which looks really good. I know for myself, I love fox style mounts, so this is definitely something I will be picking up. It's only 600 tender as well. Then we get our more Christmas themed battle pet Mitzi, a little Rudolph looking reindeer. Again, this will cost 600 tender, coming into our transmog sets. We have the Scarlet Zealot set, which if you're a fan of the Scarlet Crusade, it's definitely worth grabbing, including if we do end up going to Gilneas and clearing the Scarlet Crusade out of there. This set will cost 550 tender. Now onto the class specific sets, we got the Mage Weapon Pack, which in my opinion is the best looking weapon wise this month. The one-handed sword looks really cool, the staff is nice and clean as well, and the offhand isn't too bad. It's not exactly my favorite, but again, it's an offhand, it's not too bad. This pack will cost you 500 tender. Now onto the Hunter Weapon Pack. It looks pretty clean, it has a nice blue coloring to it. I'm sure there's some decent transmogs you could make with this, and it's only 500 tender, so if you're a Hunter player, it's worth grabbing, in my opinion. Then we have the Shaman Transmog set, which in my opinion isn't that nice, but it definitely could look decent on a troll, giving you that Zoldazar vibes. This of course will cost 500 tender. Then we have the Shaman weapons. The shield looks pretty neutral, honestly. The axe has a cool vibe to it, which almost reminds me of Bloodhound from Apex Legends. And the fist weapon also giving off a pretty neutral vibe to me. This pack is also 500 tender. Onto the Evoker class weapons. I'm not quite sure why, but the color scheme of these weapons almost remind me of Shadowlands. So for that reason, it's hard to really enjoy it, as it's not my favorite style of weapons they released. The offhand though looks pretty interesting to me. This set can be picked up for 500 tender as well. Moving on to the Mage Transmog set, I can envision some cool transmog opportunities for Frost Mages with this set, due to the flying orbs. I honestly think, out of the three classes, the Mage set is the best looking. This can be acquired for 450 tender. Moving on to the Hunter set, which, well, of course, it's for the Hunter, so it's not the best looking either. It's unfortunate though, if you're main a Hunter, you guys haven't really got a lot of good transmogs recently. This can be acquired for 450. The Evoker set is a little too clunky in the helmet for my taste, but the shoulders remind me of the Bronze Dragonflight, so I can see myself using the shoulders. Otherwise, it's quite clunky for me. This set can be grabbed for 450 tender. Onto the Storm Riders Stormhammers. These maces would look good with a Shaman build. I find especially with the lightning effect on them, these weapons can be grabbed for 400 tender. And then there's the Blade Master's Thundering Greatsword, which looks pretty clean. I can see it being used on like a Fury Warrior transmog. These can be grabbed for 225 tender. Onto the Errant Crusader's Helm, which I think looks really clean and nice. Personally, I could see myself grabbing this for my Death Knight or maybe my Warrior. This helmet will cost about 225 tender. Then we have the Blade Master's Azure Stones, which I think would really fit the theme of a monk. These will cost 200 tender, and honestly, it's not a bad price for what you get. It looks pretty nice. Next is the Wild Hammer Scout's headgear, which again, in my opinion, is too clunky, and I can't really think of any transmog ideas with it. This can be grabbed for 200 tender though if you want. Then we got a pretty clean white tabard for 100 tender and 2 leg pieces which come in red or green. Each of these can be grabbed for 100 tender. Lastly, for the month of December, we have the Crimson Treads of the Kulak. I'm sorry if I butchered that, which I think could really look nice with a winter-themed outfit. These can be grabbed for 50 tender. So that's everything that can be grabbed for the month of December. We also have a few returning items from previous months, which I will display on the screen. I imagine some of you have already seen these, so I'm not going to go into detail about what they are or how much they're going to cost, but it will be on the screen. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Till next time.